Does this make him a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, it checks the Hall of Fame box. Now, he's not probably going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Maybe he is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's got about 5 good years of football left in him. He may win another Super Bowl. He may win 2 Super Bowls, maybe 3 Super Bowls in Los Angeles. You don't know. But when you look at it, his numbers speak for themselves in Detroit. He's going to put up eye-popping numbers in L.A., and he's already won a Super Bowl. So I would assume when his career's over, the Gold Jacket conversation will be there.
I just felt like this past offseason, and I'm not going as hard as Dan Orlovsky because Dan's been talking about the magical presence of Matthew Stafford for a long time. But this whole notion, it makes me feel good as an athlete because your situation matters. And I can't harp more importantly on this matter because so many times who you play with, the schemes that are developed for you, and obviously your ability to make plays, you have to make plays. But having somebody that can put you in a good situation, that's all I used to hear about Matthew Stafford. Can he win on a good team? And Stu's made plays. The way he responded to Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, it was a huge moment in his career. Now, this game, this wasn't like an incredible game by him, but he did what the hell he had to do, and he made clutch plays down the stretch. When you don't have Robert Woods, when OBJ goes out, the whole world knows that you're throwing the Cooper Kupp. Give love to Cooper Kupp for all the catches he made, but also give a lot of credit to Matthew Stafford for always delivering when he had to.
I want to home in on something that Jay said just then, Key, because it really is. It's a team game. But we give quarterbacks and guys like me, and I think it's the way it's got to be, right? The quarterback gets a lot of too much blame and too much credit for wins and losses, all right? So, but like I'm thinking about the way we're going to feel, forget about the way we're going to feel about Stafford now that he's won a Super Bowl. A dude like that with eye-popping, ooh, he's got it. He can spin it. You even said it just looks different when you saw him earlier this year compared to Goff, who was a number 1 overall pick. Goff went to 2 Pro Bowls and a Super Bowl. With Stafford, it just looks better, right? When a guy like that wins a championship, like imagine if someone like Damian Lillard had been playing with KD his whole career and had, let's say, had won at least 2 championships. When you talk about the all-time point guard, Lillard come up every time, right? Now, he's in with a bunch of dudes. Like, the team around you, the situation matters, but it's unavoidable. We now will think of Matthew Stafford differently, even though because the questions has been answered. Can he be the quarterback of a championship team? Yes, he can. He did it.
No, he absolutely did it. Max, from my eyeballs and my perspective, look, he is what he is. He likes to throw interceptions, okay? He's a pick machine. He was a pick machine in Detroit. He's a pick machine here with the Rams. But he hasn't gotten hurt by doing those things. And when you look at the touchdown to Cooper Kupp, that looks like a really easy throw, I'm sure, to people out there and to you, Max and Jay. Y'all probably look at it like, oh, that's an easy throw. You know how hard that throw is for him to be? Because he could throw it out of the back of the end zone. He could throw it too far inside. He could throw it too far outside. But he puts it at an eye level, perfectly thrown at an eye level where Cooper can get it and go get it. And that's perfect. Those sort of things are or even the one to OBJ on the fade. Mm-hmm. That's a perfectly thrown football that if you watch the NFL, which you do every Sunday, pay attention to some of the fade routes that these quarterbacks are throwing. They're at the back of the end zone, too far to the pylon. Not perfect. That's just a sweetheart throw, man. And when you look at that, you just be like, oh, God. Like that one, the OBJ on the wheel route. Oh, my goodness. Nothing the dude can do. He high-pointed it, put it in a perfect spot.
Let me ask you something, Jay. So he's won a Super Bowl now. And Key said a pick machine. And in this era, more than in previous eras, with Aaron Rodgers and these guys, like you're not allowed to throw interceptions like in the old days. But John Elway threw a ton of interceptions. Brett Favre threw a ton of interceptions. And Favre came out of nowhere, did this whole thing, and won a Super Bowl right in the middle, in the meat of his career, right? And got to 2. Elway won those 2 at the end, but he'd been to a bunch. Stafford drafted 1 overall, eye-popping arm talent, most fourth-quarter comebacks, now wins a Super Bowl. Where is he in the Pantheon? Like, if he gets to another one, all bets are off. But right now,
But
I
he's
can't.
definitely not in that conversation. I mean, it still feels awkward to me when I hear John Elway or Brett Favre and then I hear Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I hear
It
you.
doesn't feel like,
But that's
you know
right.
what I mean?
I
Like
do
it's-
know.
Like
I do
there's
know
a
what
lot
you
of
mean.
respect that's earned and given that he's been able to take. Like there's a long, I feel like a long way to go before he starts getting to that.
Is that
threshold.
just eyeball test? In other words, we make up our mind. We see Favre or Elway. We're like, ooh, look at that. And Stafford just doesn't look quite the same.
No, he's coming from Detroit, man. If okay, so let's moving from Detroit and let's put him in LA his entire career, but he hadn't won a Super Bowl. A la Elway, to a degree, Brett Favre. And he was doing the same things in Detroit, but only it was in LA, and he was a playoff team, and then they lose. And you wouldn't think of it that way, but because he's buried in Detroit and they're not going anywhere, and they're going to lose every single year, you look at it and go, well, he's part of the problem too.
Where you
One
get drafted
caveat,
matters,
though.
Max.
One caveat, Key. To my eyes, take nothing away from Stafford. I thought he was the second best quarterback on the field. That's what it looked that way to me.
Look, again, he didn't have eye-popping numbers, and he made some mistakes along the way, especially in the first half. It looked clunky. And so, in the end, he got out of there. In the end, he got out of there with a win. Max, that's really all you can say. It's not going to be celebrated by the public the way it would have if he would have lost. If you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah.
The evil that men do live after them, the good is often interred with their bones. That's Mark Antony's speech from Julius Caesar, but it basically means the same thing. All right.